Good? Okay, so like I said before, we just want to go through and make a quick poll. We can just go around. Ashley, we'll start with you, Oscar, and then Ashley next. And we'll just go around like that. So like I said, we're really trying to make some positive changes in horse sport, and not just in our community, but worldwide. We have some things that are very near and dear to us: science and education and classical arts of horsemanship, and keeping this sport going, because we all love it. I mean, there's plenty of ways that we could make a living that would be a lot easier than this. So there's clearly a reason why we're doing it, right? So I think it would be really great to have such a great group of people together, all different backgrounds. We've got several countries represented, and just to talk a little bit about why we're passionate about horse sport. And you can just keep it brief, and we'll send the microphone around, okay? Oscar, you go first.
Thank you. I guess since I started riding when I was 6 or 7 years old, I learned that the relationship between the horses and humans are very special. And after that, the sport it's truly unique, and the combination of not depending only on what you do, but what the horse is feeling, how it is trained, and everything. It's very special, and it's unique in a way because you never really know if it's going to be your day or not. You might win one day, you might get eliminated the day after. So it's always a learning experience as a rider, as a trainer, as a course designer, official. I mean, I guess we all always learn something new, and that's what keeps the sport very, very enjoyable. And I guess that's what hooked us all with this sport, right? So I guess that's it.
Perfect. Ashley Pigford.
Right.
Would you like to say how many years we've been knowing each other?
No. Yeah, McCall and I go back just a little ways. Just a little ways. I have to tell this funny story of you. You're going to kill me. But I remember McCall, first pony, Salty, and saltwater taffy. Yes. And you were racing, I think Kim, you were racing him back to the barn one day, you and Kim. You were just playing around, But I don't know, you were riding bareback. He turned, I remember you went off, your mom was up there with us, and she was like, oh, Mitch, oh my gosh. You stood up, you're like, I'm fine. But anyway, it was great, so we go way back. Well, I'm passionate about horses just because of what they give back to us. I'm a second generation horse person. My mom had horses growing up. She used to take me and put me in her stall with her brood mares and babies, and I mean, I knew horses before I knew people. So I've just always been around them. They're reflections of us. They make us better. I mean, they help enhance, our strengths and weaknesses, especially. So I'm just passionate about what they give to us and the opportunities that they have for kids, especially growing up. I mean, there's so many opportunities, learning opportunities, not just the showing. I'm not somebody who really enjoys to show, but I just love being around horses. I love project horses, especially rescue horses. Just the challenge of taking something and finding, accentuating their talents. That's what they give back to us. I think they just, teach us how to be better. So that's just a little bit of why I'm passionate about them.
Nina.
Okay, so the reason why I'm passionate about horses is because it's so important to have a good relation to them, and you always have to work with the horse in a team, I think, because otherwise the work won't be very good. So you're not a single player. I would say you always have another one you have to work with, and you have to try to work very good with them, not against them. So you always have to be a team.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Nina, and additional to that, I love that horse sport is like you have such a big variety of things you can do. Like, you don't have to focus just on show jumping or just on dressage. You have the ability to go everywhere and to do everything. So I love to just learn about dressage and show jumping and endurance riding. I just wanted to do it all. So yeah, that's what I love. And it's even better to do it, as a team, to have someone that, you share those special moments with when you really bond to a horse. So that's pretty fascinating, yeah.
So I'm passionate about horses because of the bond that you build with them, and just, how it's like, it doesn't really matter how bad your day is. At the end of the day, you can just go to the barn and see your horse, and that's somebody that loves you. And, in the bond that you build with them, it's like, my horse would do anything for me. She would jump any jump for me. She would, go down a ditch if I wanted her to, just whatever. And I think that that's because, I take such good care of her, and she loves me back. And she's like, you try so hard for me, I'll try just as hard for you. And I just really appreciate all that she does for me.
So my passion about horses comes from essentially the relationship that you build with them. And it's therapy. It's just good for your soul to get out, and even if it's just a day of grooming or just checking on them. But it's definitely building that relationship and making sure that they are taken care of before you are.
No matter what.
No matter what.
I think there's such a constant in our lives, not in the day-to-day, like, sure, its behavior changes day-to-day for sure, but in terms of, when I look back on my childhood, all my memories involve a pony or a horse, and then I look back, difficult times in my 20s, and the horses were always there. And so the day-to-day might change, but horses are just such a constant in our lives.
I guess I'm very grateful to be able to work with horses every day, and I feel like they make me a better person, and they make me think about things in a different perspective, and sometimes that's incredible, sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's maddening, and sometimes it's amazing. And it's just, no 2 days are ever the same, and as hard as you want them to be, sometimes they just aren't, and that's wonderful, and that's just something that comes with working with horses. And I really enjoy seeing horses improve, seeing riders improve, watching progress and growth, whether that's at home or at shows. It's really about the process and the journey, and horses have taught me a lot of humbleness, a lot of, if that's even a word, humility, thank you, and they've brought me some wonderful moments as well, and I'm grateful for all of it.
I think another thing that I'm grateful for in being able to work with horses is how kind of grounded they keep you, and just all the details that go into their care and training, and it can be at times very instant gratification in that you put in time and energy and things work, or sometimes they don't, and you have to rethink things and find different ways to face challenges. But it's always kind of the detail of it and the nuance of the sport that I find really intriguing and interesting with horses. So.
Why do you love Vicky so much?
Well, she brings great joy.
Yeah.
It's important to have a great relationship with the horse. And it's always important that you put the horse before you put yourself.
Couldn't have said it better.
Never take care of yourself before you take care of the horse.
Amen to that. Very good, thank you.
So there are many reasons why I'm passionate about horses, but
when it comes to like horse sports specifically, I've just felt super blessed to be able to engage with people from all over the world, from all kinds of different socioeconomic backgrounds and people with different stories, and just, it's amazing just to listen to people's stories and where they come from, and you can meet so many new people through horses, and there's no sport like it. I never get sick of watching show jumping rounds, dressage rounds, eventing rounds. I could watch it all day, and I love finding other horse-obsessed people. And it's amazing how many of them there are.
I think it started with, at a very young age, look at this big, beautiful thing, this creature, then you get obsessed with it. Just all you want to do, that's all you can think about. And from there, it went to, here's this animal that is here for me during a very critical time, adolescence, and when things can go very wrong, and this consistency, this creature is here and needs me, and doesn't care whether I had a bad day or not. It still needs me. And it's very easy to get sidetracked by, especially growing up showing extensively, like we did, sidetracked by the glory, winning, and that's really fun, that we all, it's a great feeling, but I feel very lucky to have been in an environment to find my way back to why I originally fell in love with it. It's this wonderful animal that needs me as much as I need them, and those little victories of just a good day, just a good canter, a perfect halt. Just the little nice gleaming coat at the end of the day, just the little things that make it joyful for us. So.
I think for me, it helps keep me human. I know sometimes I get, either too into myself, or I'm thinking only about me, but then, they teach me that it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to have feelings, and they accept that, and I like that, the acceptance that we can be one of them if we treat them how we want to be treated. And yeah, they just help us, keep us human.
Well, I'm very proud of myself that I didn't cry more than I did. That could change. One of the things that I've really noticed in this last couple of years, that I've sort of been forced to look at horses a little bit differently, just through the circumstances with life and whatever. What I didn't know about before was how horses and humans came together in the first place. And the way that horses and humans came together was because neither one of us had enough to eat. So we had too many humans at the advent of agriculture, and we had horses also that were disturbed by humans' existence. So we were both living in marginal environments. And horses, because they're curious and because they're constantly youthful, they always, some animals grow up and they don't play anymore. And horses do. And horses are very social, and so are we. And in these circumstances of distress in both of our species are what brought us together. I never knew that before. And it's fascinating, and I don't think there's another animal that has meant so much to human civilization as the horses. And even though they're maybe on paper obsolete for transportation or warfare or agriculture, not everywhere in the world, but most places, clearly they're very important to us, because otherwise we wouldn't spend $40 billion a year on them. And so I think it's really important that we all sort of honor that in what we still do with them. Even though we don't have to have them, we need to have them. And we want that to continue to go forward for many generations, and just keep learning more. So really, really thank everybody for coming out tonight in crappy weather. This seems to happen every time I try to do one of these things. But yeah, I really appreciate the time, and I hope we can do more things like this. Thank you.